You're welcome back to the Light TV show. And it's interesting to know that someone can actually own their personal development journey and make things happen. Thank you so much, Honorable, for your patience. You're still here with us. I will have questions from members of the audience. I would like to call on Kenechi Ezokoye for hers.
What about after acquiring all these skills towards personal development and opportunity to use that skill doesn't come to you?
So let me also add this because it's quite related. Someone is asking, that's from Samson. He says, what's your advice to a law student on how to cope with the desire for poultry business? You know, a law student, I'm sure you did mention that you'll be going back to study law sometime when we spoke, so yeah. I hope you're still going.
Oh, why not?
Okay.
I'm already reading my GC.
Oh, nice. Scheme. Wonderful. So he's asking, a law student, you know how intense, and the person has this desire for poultry business, so I'm sure you can marry both.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, your question is also tied somehow to your vision. I made mention of somebody having vision in life, and your vision drives every other thing you do. You know, and I do not want to believe that there is any skill you acquire that you won't use. It's just that you may not be able to use it in commercial terms. You may not be able to commercialize it. You may not be able to commercialize all your skills. That means making money from those skills.
Okay.
However, you'll use it. I give you an example. I learned computer at that very early stage. And I think till today, I use my computer. I have never seen any letter I write and somebody go and type for me. I can type a whole note within minutes. What I do, I type, I send to my boy to go and print. So because I like to adjust it and format it to my taste. Where will be highlighted, I will highlight it. Where will be underlined, I underline it. Because early enough, I learned computer skill. So I may not have owned a computer school, but the truth is that in my life, in what I do, in my business, computer skill has done a whole lot for me. I have boys today, I do branding. I have a branding firm that deals a lot with computer and designs. If you design for me, I tell you, no, this is not what I want. I can create exactly what I want. Paint the picture and you do it. So that skill is useful for me. Now, there's so many other skills I know personally I've learned. Okay, I'll tell you something. Let me use one of the books I read. I read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And I think I shared it the other time where in that book, it explained this idea of liability versus assets.
Okay.
And after it explained that, he said that some people acquire liabilities and call it assets, but that you can turn your liability to assets. As at that time, as a first year student, we were only 2 in my whole department that has phone. Don't forget, I told you I came from a poor home, but as a student, I wasn't a poor boy. All right, good. So now, what did I do? I now use, after reading that book, just because I read that book, I saw where they wrote a kiosk. They wrote for sale. I priced it. They say 8,000. My salary was 8,000. I paid for it. I used that phone and got a secretary who was using it to make call for me. All those times you see people that have cubicle, yellow cubicle.
Business.
Do you know, before I finished my IT, I had about 5 different places, cubicles, where they make calls for me. And each month, after paying salaries, I was making nothing less than 80,000. If you know what was 80,000 as at that time, and somebody that his official salary was 8,000, you know that it was big. So that thing I learned in that book has been useful to me. So what I'm saying is that anything you've learned, you talk about Google digital stuff. It may not be now, but when you use it, you may not know. The idea is that when you learn these skills, most times it's always also good to learn skills in your area of passion where you want to go to, so that you don't get distracted. You know, sometimes when some of us that appear to be multi-talented, it could be very distracting if you are not disciplined. This time you just run this side, the next day you are running this side. So that's why I say the first thing is that you have to determine your life goal, where you want to go to. That will tell you the kind of skill to commercialize and the ones that to use as a hobby. The law student that want to have poetry is something you can do on a part-time. If I don't know if as a law student you want to practice law or you want to come out and practice farming. If you want to practice law, you can have poetry as a part-time. You can as of today, I still have farm very big farm. I have piggery, I have fishery, I still have poultry. But that's not the business I do. If I have 10 naira income, that does not contribute up to 20% of that. So, but it's a passion and I want to do it. So as a law student, you can do that. Maybe back home, all you need to do is to have somebody that manage that.
For some people who want to perhaps have opportunities to go for trainings, maybe outside the country like you've done, you've also studied abroad. What are the personal development steps that you took that prepared you for such global opportunities?
One thing leads to another. Like I gave an example the other time, you didn't just wake up and they made you SSA on broadcasting. And you didn't just wake up and become a first class graduate. One thing leads to another. Like I said, just be conscious of knowledge. As an undergraduate then in Federal Polyoko, I heard about a program they call Leap Africa. They were doing it in Unizik, Chico Koli Enterprises. I think the payment then was 15,000. I paid for that fee. I was coming from Oko every day for 2 weeks for that training. So after I had that training, I cannot fully quantify exactly what I gained from that training, but I gained a massive network. I saw young people who are also doing great in different fields. Wow. I saw they have my emails. So if there is any opportunity anywhere in the world, they always send to us to apply. So from there, I got to Faith Foundation. I finished at Faith Foundation. I did well. They sponsored me to Harambee, Nigeria. Wow. I emerged the number 3 in the entire Harambee, Nigeria. They sponsored me to Commonwealth. I finished in Commonwealth. I went to British Council. I finished in British Council. The opportunity for ELD Fellowship came out in 2014. I applied. And by the time I listed the kind of trainings I've had, what I've done, of course I have NGOs I run. I have what I'm passionate about. I'm one person that when I was small and when I gained admission, I said I was never going to look for a job. Till date, I've never written an application letter in my life. I said I was going to school to acquire knowledge. I was going to promote entrepreneurship. So as a student, first year student, I always organize seminars in school. Bring business people, the likes of Hon Nonso, to come and speak to students on why entrepreneurship is the way forward. So all those things I never knew that those things count in the international scene. So they saw it that I was one of those persons fighting to promote, to eradicate poverty in Nigeria. So those things helped to sharpen my CV for that yearly fellowship. And I applied. We over 50-something thousand that applied. And only 42 was taken in from Nigeria. And that 42 from Nigeria, I was the only person taken from Anambra State. And I went for that program in US then. I stayed in Washington, Texas, where I did my program in University of Texas. Of course, like I said, when you are passionately determined, even forces of nature are always brought under control. Wow. Maybe nature has known that I wouldn't have opportunity of studying abroad. But because I was determined and God helped me, I was able to cling to that opportunity. And today, if you're talking about people that study abroad, I also studied abroad. So, wonderful. We're closing now because we don't have that much time. Can you also tell us about the present thing we know is that you're a member of the House of Assembly representing the Nnewi North, and that's a big deal for someone who came from a humble background like you did. So what did personal development do to get you to this position? Well, personal development let me understand early enough that one of the things that the public need is good service and accountability. That you have to deliver quality service and you have to be accountable. When you've married these two things, you can go anywhere in leadership. So personal development will let you understand early enough where you are going to, and you take calculated steps towards there. Okay. So that, but if you don't know that perhaps one day in future I may be in House of Assembly, maybe they give you class rep and you will steal the student and mess up because you saw 10,000 naira. But if you know that there is a bigger picture, it makes you to calculate your step and be conscious of what you do. Okay, so like you said, personal development is a process that gets you from where you are to where you want to be, or even beyond that. Sure. Provided you take the steps and do the right things. Thank you so much, Honorable Nonso Okafor, for coming on the Light TV show. I mean, your life is a whole book.
We hope we get a book soon. We appreciate you so much for coming on the show. Remember that you can get all the highlights on the Light TV show. You can also join the Light TV show Super Talent Contest by going to any of our social media platforms showing on your screen now. You can join us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram to follow the conversation. Watch our live shows on YouTube as well. I am Hon Okafor. Keep watching the Light TV show.